Today we will be talking about the history of the fur trade, featuring Christian, Xavier, Nolan, and Paul.
The fur trade began in the early 1500s, and it originated between natives and Europeans. The fur trade was one of the earliest and most important industries. Fur trade was divided into different sections: the French era, which was between 1600s to 1760, the British era between 1716 and 1816, and the American era from 1816 to 1850.
This image shows British and the Native Americans trading weapons for fur pelts.
Earliest trade routes included Allegheny Mountains, Mississippi River, St. Lawrence River, Ottawa Rivers, Albany, New York, and the Rocky Mountains. Along Lewis and Clark's exploration, they helped expand new trade routes out west by discovering new landmarks, such as the Missouri River and the Mississippi River. This picture shows fur trade routes in the United States as of today.
The trade brought Indians useful items such as manufactured goods, tools, kettles, beads, firearms, and alcohol. Many natives in the American continent came to depend on fur trade as a primary source of income. Gift-giving and ceremonial exchanges were important elements of trading with the Indians. Traders soon found that if they didn't participate in the ceremonies and provide the Indian with gifts, that the Indians wouldn't trade with them. By the early 1800s, trading was a daily activity for Native Americans.
As you can see, a European is giving gifts to the Indians in order for the Indians to keep trading with him. When Lewis and Clark went out west and expanded fur trade, Indians had little interest in it. Since Indians had little interest in fur trade out west, trading companies hired frontiersmen to catch animals for fur. They were called mountain men.
John Jacob Astor was the founder of an American fur trade dynasty. His businesses were called the American Fur Company. He was the first person to hire mountain men out west. John Jacob Astor was the first millionaire in the United States due to his company. He established fur shops and successfully traded with Indians. Astor purchased ships and began starting fur imports and exports.
This is a photo of a man skinning fur that a mountain man caught for clothing and trade.
Fort Astoria was established by John Jacob Astor as a trading post in 1810. It was along the Columbia River and it was a very successful trading post. John Jacob Astor had to sell the fort due to the War of 1812. The fort was later named Fort George.
Maritime fur trade was a ship-based fur trade system that focuses on getting furs of sea otters and other animals from indigenous peoples in the Pacific Northwest coast and native Alaska. Those furs were mostly sold in China in exchange for goods like tea, silk, porcelain, and others. Those are sold in Europe and in U.S. A Russian-American company killed 100,000 sea otters in the 1800s. During maritime fur trade, over 1 million sea otters were killed.